Good morning.
Good morning.
And who do we have with us this morning for our what we call our town hall podcast virtual meeting?
We have Representative Ron Reynolds. Thank you for joining us this morning.
I am so honored to be on with you. Both of you are phenomenal ladies that I have the utmost respect for. So I'm excited to be with you all this morning.
Well, thank you, and we are equally excited, Ron. And we know. Well, I'm gonna say representative.
No, we go way back. We had a personal relationship long before I was a state representative over 12 years ago. So we go way back. We won't even talk about how long. It's been a long time, though.
Well, it's been 17 years. Okay,
Yes. So
and
you
all
telling it.
one has got younger and
Yes,
better, right?
better.
That's right.
I certainly look younger than I did 17 years ago. And so do you, and so does Angela. We got pictures.
I'll take
That's
it.
right. That's right.
Okay, so we're
Hey,
going to,
hey, I can say you knew me when I had hair.
yes, I did.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say what you knew me when I.
I love it. I love
Okay.
it.
Well, listen, it's always great to have a good time, and it's always great to do business, and it's always a wonderful opportunity when we can speak with our legislators, people who represent us, people who assist us in. And when I say us, I'm talking about the residents of the state of Texas in understanding where the roles that we play and how our state plays in those roles with our life and with prosperity. And so, basically, just to kind of recap what we're doing every week in September, we call it a virtual town hall meeting. And the purpose for it is that we know that there will be legislation coming out when the new session comes in, not
Right here.
new, but the next session
Next.
comes in January, and we want to be prepared and ready to provide information to our representatives so that we can support our representative in positions that they take. And just to recap, our right now we have three advocacy positions that we will be submitting our legislative agenda to our elected officials and run. There's you and I have discussed a few things in the past, and I think now it's time for it to actually take place. And one of these is we want reciprocity throughout the state for MBE, MBE is the acronym for Minority Business Enterprise that are being certified in local areas. And however, when that person moves or want to do business in another area, they are having to recertify. And once you are established as a minority business, why are we recertifying? So we want reciprocity in that area, but I know there's things that have to go along with that, and we'll be happy to work with you and the other representatives that was on last week from Region One. We want to increase the participation of the historic underutilized mentor protege program, as well as increase the participation of the disadvantaged business enterprise, which goes through the Texas Office of Civil Rights Mentor Protege Program, and we have a few others that we would like to discuss with you at another session. However, I'm going to those are right now where we are. We want it to be broadcast uh, to all of our regions. We serve 12 counties, and those counties are grouped into regions, into 3 counties per region. So we serve 4 counties. I mean, I keep
Four
going
regions.
counties, 4 regions, and we do have an infrastructure to serve 6 regions. So we're looking at moving into our service into 6 more counties
Mhm.
within the next year or two.
Mhm.
Okay,
Awesome.
so Angela, do you want to take it from here?
I will, but you know what I realized is that we didn't introduce ourselves. We just went straight
Oh,
to
Angela, they
Representative.
know who we are by now, huh?
Y'all some superstars, so that's why y'all just
He
skipped over that. But
That's all I needed, Ron.
but no, go ahead. You should introduce yourself for those rare people who just dropped off Mars that may not know you.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
well then we'll let the rare people from Mars know
For the
who you
rare
are.
people. So we have Miss Leandria Thompson,
Yeah, yeah.
founder, owner, CEO, president for Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce, my mentor, learning so much from her. And I am Angela Curry. I am the chair of the advisory board and Galveston County vice president. So thank you again. Now that we know who's all on play, I wanted to recap the questions that we asked last week to the Region 1 representatives, just so you'll have it top of mind. And then feel free to embellish or add any information or introduce yourself further and address any question or all of them that you want to for the time that we have on the show. So the first question was, are there state resources available to assist small businesses seeking and obtaining capital? The next one was, are there special committees that small business owners can serve on? Then, many policies have been voted on and implemented, but which policies affecting small business are subject to change if the political leadership changes? And then the last question is, in your meetings with small business owners, what issues have been the most predominant? And what current or upcoming legislation is there to address those issues? Also, are there any notable issues related to any specific industries? So, anything there that you would want to provide some insight for us here this morning would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much.
Sure, sure. Angela and Leandria, I want to first of all just thank you both for your commitment, for your uh, being champions for small businesses, particularly small minority-owned businesses, which are the economic engines that drive our economy. And we live in a state that is very diverse, more African Americans in Texas than any other state in the country. And we have long been denied fair opportunities to compete on a level playing field for contracts. And that is why we have a hub program to help our historically underutilized businesses. Black folks, particularly, have been significantly underutilized from our state procurement process. And we still have a long way to go to achieve parity, to make up for that historical discrimination that has quite simply left us out of the economic opportunities in this state and in this country. And so we have a long way to go. I'm very proud to be working with the Tri-County Black Chamber. And I'm so proud of your leadership and having a legislative agenda and for coming to Austin, your state capital, to testify on behalf of your members to make sure that we create better opportunities for sustainable growth so that these small businesses that have historically been left out can get an opportunity to compete for their own tax dollars. And so, yes, we have a hub program on paper, but unless those opportunities are real and realized, it means nothing. And so we have a history that, for example, TxDOT, you mentioned that, Leandria, in the Office of Civil Rights. Because of the Texas Legislative Black Caucus, a lot of the efforts that we made, I'm very proud, and I don't like to say I too often, but I'm very proud that I was one of the main architects advocating from the House to put more teeth behind the HUB program, working with the Comptroller's Office and all of our state agencies to come up with an MOU, a memorandum of understanding and partnerships with chambers like the Tri-County Black Chamber, who's been one of the beacons of light in this state, advocating and a champion for our Black and small businesses. And so we have a long way to go, but we do have a hub program. And the last disparity study that was done showed many. It was atrocious. It was pitiful. Just like the one that came out recently from Harris County that showed 0.4% in Harris County for Black folks doing business in Harris County. That was shameful. So I thank Commissioner Ellis for being a leader and a champion to do that disparity study so we can shine a light upon that. And in the state of Texas, we've made some progress because of champions like you advocating and demanding change, and legislators like me and those others that you've recently met with, and others like Senator Boris Miles, that's been a champion, Senator Royce West in the Senate, the only two African American state senators. But we have to continue to press our state leadership to make sure that we do a better job. We've made some improvements in procurement opportunities, but quite frankly, the HUB program has benefited white women more than anybody else. And I ain't hating on white women. I'm
Right.
not.
Right.
But I want to see more African Americans that are competent, capable, and qualified. And so when we go back to Austin and during the next legislative session, I'm going to refile some of the bills that I filed, and I want to see more of the members come up and testify so these bills can get out of hearing, out of committee, and onto the floor. And this should be bipartisan. This is not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is about right and wrong and fairness and economic opportunities. And for our state to continue to be a #1 state in job producing, we need for African American businesses to realize more economic opportunities. So there is room for improvement at every level of government, from TxDOT to TCEQ, which Leandria, I remember one time when you all were the example for TCEQ when we went down there for their procurement fair. They were highlighting the great work of the Tri-County Black Chamber. But all of our state agencies need to improve. And every state contract that's over $100,000 has to have a plan, and unfortunately, many of those plans only are on paper, but they're not realized. So we need more success stories. We need more people, architects, engineers, contractors, construction, professional services. All of that we need more of. So a call came in, so it messed up the flow. But the point I'm making is, to answer your question, is yes, there's a lot of work that we can do together. And we will be filing more legislation coming up in the 88th legislative session. And we want you all to partner with us, and we want to incorporate the 3 items that you mentioned in your legislative agenda. Those are 3 things that should be done. And I support all 3 of them. And I'm looking forward to your whole legislative agenda and making sure that the Texas Legislative Black Caucus stands in a solidarity with you. And we want to create a Black Chamber, a Tri-County Black Chamber Day that we've done in the past. We want to make that the biggest and best that it's ever been, and invite businesses all over the state to come on that day and lobby and advocate for these passes for these policies.
Awesome.
Fantastic. I think we can definitely come up with that date,
Yes.
Ron. All you got to do is tell us when we need
Okay.
to be there,
Yes.
and then we'll put it together
Yes.
based on some of the things that. And thank you for your passion,
Yes.
and because that is what it's going to take for us to bring our the synergies together and
Yes.
make things actually manifest.
Yes.
But I had a question. I was taking notes, listening to what you were saying. One of the questions we had was committees. Is it possible, or are there committees that you could put together, that you could, let's say, create to where we can now have more business owners being involved from a level of understanding how the state, let's say, how legislation is. I don't know quite how to put what I'm saying, but are there any committees that, like task force, that are put together?
There are committees. We have committees within the House and the Senate. And so what I like to do, based on this conversation, is create a ad hoc committee from the Legislative Black Caucus, which I have the pleasure of serving as the vice chair of right now. I'm the vice chair. And what I like to do is work with you all. I like to create something that you could be like a liaison to give input and feedback so that we can have you on the front line to help us implement these ideas. You all are subject matter experts on these things. We are not. And so I think this is a good opportunity to create a subcommittee so that you all can give feedback and input on a routine basis to our members so that we can be better champions for the legislation that you're advocating for, even during the interim. Like right now, when we're not in session, it's the interim. So this is a great time for us to formulate this. And I'm willing to take this back to our caucus and make it part of our legislative agenda.
Perfect. That would be fantastic for our advisory board to
Definitely.
participate this way.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Lots of learning, lots of information, and I see that you are very active in your legislative and bringing legislative agenda forward. So I'm very, very excited that you're
Let's do
excited
it.
for us to bring things forward. I know the last thing I looked through a couple of the things that you had brought forward, and I was just curious to know what happened to your HCR 6 to raise the minimum wage. I wanted to get more information about that. I was just curious what that
Well,
status was for that.
there's so many pieces of legislation that I filed that were pro-business pieces of legislation that unfortunately uh, I had to decline a call that unfortunately died because of the powers that be, Governor Abbott and some who are in charge didn't want to see that pass. And so elections matter. This upcoming in November, people need to vote their values. And unfortunately, so many people are out of touch with small businesses and the needs of many of our constituents, African Americans, and the need for affordable health care and other things I could talk about, criminal justice, but just focusing on business, there's a lot of business needs that aren't met. And it seems like our leadership caters to the wealthy and the big businesses, the Fortune 500 companies, the oil and gas. They get all these corporate subsidies. But what about the small mom and pop? What about the ones that employ 1 to 10 or 1 to 100 employees? Those people tend to get left out. They don't have high-powered lobbyists at their disposal. So we have to be the champions for them. That's why the Tri-County Black Chamber is so essential in this conversation. So we need to partner with you. We, meaning the Texas Legislative Black Caucus, needs to reform and recommit to working directly with you all this next legislative session so that we can be more impactful.
Right.
I'm curious, how do you set your priorities as to what you'll bring forward first? So of
Well, so
course,
we doing the interim, we set our legislative agenda. We haven't finished crafting it yet, so our timing is perfect. During this interim, I know you met with my colleagues, Representative Jarvis Johnson and Representative Alma Allen, who are part of our caucus. Now is a great time for us to incorporate your ideas into our legislative agenda. So when we roll out January, we come out swinging and we incorporate your priorities with our priorities. They're our priorities collectively. So that is my commitment to you all and your members, that we will work hand in hand together to be stronger. United we stand, divided we fall. Our strength is in our unity. Our strength is in our numbers. And if we collaborate, we can be unstoppable. And I think that we have a good opportunity to put forth a great legislative package to go to Governor Abbott, assume if he's reelected, to go to the speaker and to the lieutenant governor. Here is our legislative agenda. There's more African Americans in Texas. We demand blah, blah, blah. That is what I want to see us do. And we have the numbers to back us from across the state and all of the regional affiliates that you have in the 14 counties that you represent.
Fantastic. The thing that I was wanting to ask, what you said a subcommittee, ad hoc
Yeah.
legislature. What do you need from us to start that process?
Well, I need who you want to designate to be that representative that will serve on that committee, and we're going to form it. I'm going out on a limb, and I'm again the vice chair, so I will ask for forgiveness if the if the body doesn't think so, but I think it's going to be well received. I think this is something that's missing. This will be a great component to our legislative caucus to focus on business and economic development. That is a cornerstone for our survivability, right? We talk about, often we focus on civil rights, but far too often we don't focus on silver meaning the money,
Yes.
uh, building wealth and economic development. We focus on criminal justice reforms and access to healthcare and gun reform, but far too often we don't focus on the money. And we need that to bring our communities up. When Black businesses succeed, we succeed. Black
Yeah.
businesses hire more Black people. That we have the highest unemployment. So we need to focus on our small businesses. And so I'm committed to that. And our caucus is going to renew our commitment to that. And that's going to, you all are going to be an integral, vital part of that.
Well, just let us know when you want,
No,
when
it's
you,
done.
okay,
I'm going to follow with you offline so that we can
okay,
get all the
thank,
logistics. But yeah, this is great. So everybody that's hearing this now, breaking news. There's going to be a great partnership and a great synergy, and we're going to formulate an ad hoc committee, not to meet, but to meet with some action items that we're going to implement, and we're going to push forward for the next legislative session.
wonderful, perfect.
Awesome.
We're ready.
Love
All
it.
right, let's do it.
Let's
Yay, we got our marching order. So I will follow up with you, Leandra, on this, and we will get this into action.
Very good, very good. Anything
Awesome.
else that you need to bring out, Angela?
I'm excited.
Yeah, we're
Yay, let's
ready.
do it.
Listen, we're ready to roll.
Yeah, thank y'all again. I'm so proud of both of you. I know it takes a lot of your time, your talent, and your treasure to do this, and I just want to thank you on behalf of the Texas Legislative Black Caucus for including us and for being visionary leaders within the business community. There's a lot at stake, and there's so much more that we can do for all of our businesses across this state, and we're going to do it together.
Well, listen, thank you. We appreciate your words of
Encouragement.
expression and
Yes.
encouragement. And again, we are also very proud of you and
Thank
your
you.
colleagues, those who have
Yes.
participated
Yes.
in our
Phenomenal.
communities. And we're here to serve.
Thank you all. Thank you all
Thank
so
you.
much. All right.
Enjoy
God
the
bless
rest
you.
of your day. We'll look forward to that follow up
We
meeting.
no, we're gonna follow up and follow through. Yeah, that's my commitment. You got it. Thank you.
Very good.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Do you take him off? Do you remove him? Oh, he's off. Okay. All right, we done. Oh, well, wait a
Well,
minute.
we were
Wait a minute,
wanting to
wait a minute.
talk to
We're
him
not
after. We
quite
was
done.
trying to get him to stay on the line so we could talk to him about this last item on our.
No, we're gonna meet with him about
Okay.
that last item.
Okay. Very good.
Okay, but what we're gonna say now is we're gonna close out, but we're closing this
Hmm.
podcast. You acting like you was shocked.
Well, are we still broadcasting?
Yeah, we still broadcasting. We're gonna close out this podcast. However, before we close it, I wanted to reiterate that we do have a position based on what the conversation we had this morning with Representative Ron Reynolds. We're going to be moving forward, so it's very important that our members understand this is about them. This is about being the advocate for the member. And here the members actually will have an opportunity for their voices to be heard. Now, this podcast is ending a little earlier than our normal podcasts because we don't want to keep repeating the same thing. But
Mhm.
one of the things that we are going to say in looking out for next Friday, we have invited every
Mhm.
elected legislator for the state of Texas
Mhm.
to our podcast
Mhm.
to talk about, well, let them know our position and then find out information from them as Ron did this morning,
Mhm.
letting us know what he's interested in, how we can work together. And we, so far for Region 3, we do not have a representative that has agreed to um, hear, participate, hear what we're saying, and we want to hear what they're saying. So we don't have anybody yet. We hope that if they're listening, they will make the decision to come on. As you can
Mhm.
see, we're not talking about who we're going to vote for. We're talking about our agenda for the Texas 88th legislation.
Mhm.
All right,
Mhm.
that's what we're discussing.
Yes.
So hopefully we will have someone from Region 3 next Friday. If not, guess who you will have? You will have Angela and me. We will be here to discuss the position that we've taken. And if members would like to give more information to us, then we can discuss more of that.
Yes.
Okay?
Perfect.
So, Angela, you have anything you want to add?
No, perfect day, perfect session, perfect meeting. I'm excited about what
I'm
comes
excited
next.
because there's some stuff coming, guys.
Yes, good stuff.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.